Fishing be a little tough today, bros and broettes. So what we're gonna do, I always try to take advantage of my time on the water. Sometimes you get frustrated and you just blow the day, but I recognize the fact that fishing's kind of tough, so it's time to learn something and have a little bit of a challenge. As you guys know, I've been playing with the active target quite a bit, and I really enjoy the electronic stuff. You guys have seen some videos fishing literally like a pot of fish on active target. I said literally like 17 times in the video. It was fun, you know? It's kind of like video game fishing. You see them, you kind of hit your controller, which is your rod and reel and your bait, and you try to catch them. So what I'm gonna do, the one thing I haven't done yet is caught them vertically, like straight up and down. So I'm gonna take what do I got here? It's what's called a Damiki rig. Let me grab it for you real quick. It's a classic vertical like fishing kind of, I don't know, rig. It's basically a jig head with just a stick bait or like a straight worm on it. In this case, I have a shaky shad. I'm also playing with a new bait, which is a Bass Tricks. I forget what it's called, a Tail Tricks or something like that. That's actually something to note. Bass Tricks is now a swim bait company again, and they make some awesome baits. Super soft, but in cold water and things along those lines, or like super pressured fish, things are absolutely killer. I've caught some monsters on like 6 and 7 inch Bass Tricks. But the challenge is I'm going to try to catch some fish vertically. I'm going to record my active target, and hopefully we can capture a fish eating the bait on the active target. So I'm going to show you how I get set up real quick. I pull up, basically there's a small structure right here, but I notice there's a pot of fish off to the side, and they're anywhere from on the bottom up to 3 or 4 foot up. You can see them right down there in the corner, and I'm going to, that's like 5 feet in front of the boat, and then you can see they're under the boat on my 2D as well. We're kind of using both technologies in unison, so I know when they're under the boat, when they're in front, and you can kind of see them acting back and forth in between. If I was really smart, I'd probably turn structure scan on here, but I'm not that smart, so we're not going to do that. I like the 2D though, it gives a little wider cone. But I'm going to drop that Damiki rig straight down to them, and what I need to figure out is, do they want it on the bottom, kind of dead sticking it? Do you want to lift it and kind of shake it and give it some action? The fish have been kind of negative all day, so I assume it's going to be kind of like slow, like dead sticking. But basically I'm trying to pick off those guys. Those, see how there's bigger dots, those bigger yellow dots right there? Those are the guys we're trying to catch. I don't think they're going to be big, I don't know, but it's going to be fun trying to like pick them off and actually see them like go towards the bait and stuff. There's my baits going straight down. They did not seem very interested. Oh, there they go. So we'll just let it sit down there. Followed it right down. I tricked you. Stop. I need my lure. You ate it too, boy. So my bait just dropped down, and I saw it go down on the graph. I can see the little group of fish right next to it. They're pretty much on the bottom, so I'm going to leave my bait towards the bottom. Bring it up just a hair. Got him. Saw him eat it, dude. Saw him go down and eat it. And that might actually be, yep, it's a decent one. Did you see that? It was on the graph, dude. On the graph, I saw him eat it. That is absolutely insane. He came down and freaking, he ate my lure. Oh, that was so cool. That was freaking cool. So this is the jig right here. I'm using a 1/4 ounce. It's a Damiki rig jig. It's made by Damiki, and it's kind of like their signature deal. So I'm either using the Flash Tricks or a Gambler shaky shad. You notice both are like super kind of like finessey, straight tail, little shad looking baits. So on the Gambler deal, on the shaky shad, I'll go ahead and bite the head off. I want it a little bit thicker, and then you just thread it on, maybe about like a 1/2 inch, and bring it out just like you would, almost like treating it like a swim bait. and it's got a little hook grabber, and then you can see the head sort of has a tongue on it, and you just slide the bait up under that tongue and it grabs that little keeper, and that's what you get right there. A super finesse presentation. I'm just dropping it down on the bottom, and what that head does is when you pop it, it sort of darts around. I don't know if it's the sort of the flat plane on the bottom or if it's the 90-degree line tie, but it actually kind of like darts, almost walks like a spook. If you ever fished like a double donkey rig, like a double fluke rig, it almost looks like that double fluke rig, how they kind of like cross and dart across each other. But I'm fishing it super slow though, like super soft and subtle, so it's probably just gradually coasting back and forth, because these fish are definitely not in a good mood, but it's a cool way to catch them. Got him. That's a big one. Vertical. Literally fishing off the active target with this Demiki rig. Just lining them up. Look how he ate that thing. That is the coolest deal. All right, let's see if some of your buddies are down there. Oh, I watched him eat it, dude. Literally watched him eat it. He went straight down to it, and that feels like a better one. Dude, he went straight down to it and ate it. Straight down to it. I popped it like once or twice, and he don't do it. Demiki rigs actually have decent hooks on them, man. They're pretty stout. They tear up baits really fast, but it's a 3.5 pounder. Getting kind of good at this. I watch how they behave on the graph, and then I move my bait accordingly. I mean, these aren't giant fish, but I'm literally dropping down. I'm watching them move in the front of the boat, back and forth, and watch them come to the bait, and when they go down, I'll leave it down on the bottom. When they go up, I'll kind of bring it up to them a little bit, and I'm gonna need a new bait. That was super cool. Fishing them vertically, we didn't catch any giants, but seeing them actually eat the bait, seeing how they reacted to the bait, it tells you so much about how these fish behave. And to get kind of them biting on the active target, I don't know, it's super cool. There's a lot of different baits you can do with it, or do this technique or this vertical fishing approach with. We focused on the Demiki rig, but there's nothing saying that you can't put like a Ned down there, a drop shot down there, maybe like a little jigging spoon, a Nico rig, you know, anything that's kind of smaller, a little more compact, but you can kind of fish it vertically and sort of keep it in the same place. That's really the biggest trick, is sort of keeping that bait in the same place, but moving it ever so slightly. That net will stand up, you know, the drop shot, you can kind of sit there and shake it. That vertical jigging spoon, you know, you can just kind of draw it up and down. Just anything to kind of draw a little reaction out of them. And it's cool too, because it was definitely a tough day out here, but we turned it around and we learned something about the fish and about how to catch more fish, and it's definitely something I can apply. I wanted to practice this for fishing for spotted bass up on, say, Smith and Lanier, and I definitely feel a lot more confident in it. But make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Support real fishing and grassroots fishing. We will catch you next time back out on the water. I'll give Dog a pat for you.